Today I'd like to talk about how I would ear train this 8-note scale, 6 large to small. I think it's a really nice scale. What it has there's our scale. Okay, so there are clearly 2 ways to think of this. And probably the way that most of you would be familiar with is that we have sort of a shrunken do, re, mi, fi, so going on here. Do, re, mi, fi, so. But by the time we get to so, it's a tritone away from our original note. This is also a really good scale to practice in accordance with my other video about approaching xenharmonic destinations, because here we have something that's normally, do, re, mi, fi, so, do, re, mi, fi, so. Slightly different, but the steps really sound about the same perceptually. It's just that we're landing in a different spot. So if you think of things that way, we can have do, re, mi, fi, so. If you already know what that tritone sounds like, aim for it. And then do, re, mi, fi, so again. So it's a lot like an octatonic scale in 12 equal, or the tritone scale, mixed with DNA of 7-tone equal temperament. Since I'm in 14-tone equal temperament here, a 7-tone equal tempered scale kind of looks like a whole tone scale on this piano. And then here's the other one. Pretty cool. So, of course, we can think of 2 of these 7-tone equal tempered fragments, but one is from the first one, and one is from the second one. So in 7-tone equal temperament, since all of the whole steps are the same size, quite a bit smaller than 200, at about 171 cents, then it means that by the time we get to our sharp 4, it should be quite a bit lower than a tritone. So this second is probably about the same. Getting to here, we have an in-between third. So do, re, between me and May, but probably sounds more like me in context because of training and cultural conditioning. Do, re, mi, fi. Now, technically here, we have a perfect fourth. So in that sense, you can also think of the scale as doing that. In terms of approaching a xenharmonic destination, you can think of do, re, mi, fi, but by the time you get to fi, it's become a perfect fourth. And that secondary approach might help you more than getting to a tritone, because maybe you have an easier time just thinking of a perfect fourth. If you think of a perfect fourth easily, then it's more helpful to think of it as do, re, mi, fi, going to a perfect fourth, than do, re, mi, fi, so, going to a tritone. But that tritone symmetry is kind of nice, because then it just gives you the other half of the scale. 1 half, 2 halves. Do 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 do. So you can also use the tritone to leap around in 6L2S, sort of with a 12 EDO ear, if that makes sense. Or at least that was easy for me because I'm used to thinking of tritones. So there you go. Those are some ways that you can practice with the scale that has 6 large steps and 2 small steps. And of course you can also use the actual words large and small when you're singing the steps. Like, if you were to play it ascending and descending. Oh, large, 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 small, large, 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 small, small, large, 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 small, large, large, large. Be sure to do it ascending and descending, because descending tends to be much harder with approaching xenharmonic destinations or hearing unfamiliar scales. That's one reason why a descending second that's in between major and minor sounds so odd to a lot of Westerners. Okay, Thank you for watching this ear training video.